Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So it goes so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like them other dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beauty. Beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beauty. Beautiful girl. She's my model. She's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture. I I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go get her, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl. Psych.
Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of Prestige on a day. Do me a favor, as you're coming in, hit that like button. All right, we're looking good. Hit that like button. Oh my god, let me just make sure I'm not struggle streaming. Let's see here. I think we should be good. We should be good. The internet is acting up. Let me just see here. We should be good. We should be good. It's just wait a minute, okay? Have a little latency on my end here. Let's see here. How's everybody doing? Good? Alright, so it's just my signal that's acting up. Let me come to the chat really quickly. How's everybody doing? Latu, hello, Latu, good to see you. Olaido, Ekaleo. Life with Natu area. What up? Yes, please share. Bumi Alpha, how you there? Good to see you, Bumi. All right, so we have to, let me see here. What's going on here? My signal is acting up. Let me just see something. Speed test. Let's just see here. Just want to make sure we're good for the night in terms of internet speed. We have a very important topic to cover. We have to a quick update, maybe about 2 minutes on Davido, but we have to cover some lessons here. Am I streaming okay? Can you guys see me all right? Can you guys see me all right? Everybody can see me okay, right? Good. Just let me know in the chat. Let me make sure that we're all good on that end. Let's see. All right, I think we're good. I don't know why it's showing me that my signal is bad on this end. Let's see here. All right, good. Anyway, on your way in, do me a favor, hit that like button, share and subscribe. This is Man of Prestige. Over here we talk about relationships with respect to power, from a power perspective, social, emotional, self-intelligence, seduction, attraction, meaning we don't assess anything regarding romantic relationship, marriage issues, unless we're able to dig in a little bit deeper. Pause. All right. So if you don't have access yet, go ahead to loveandprestige.com and sign up for free for the 30-day bootcamp before we put a price on it. Go do that right away. Okay. And if you're not yet a part of the notification gang, make sure you join at lolanola.com/WhatsApp. You can also send a WhatsApp text message to this phone number +1 732 305 8577. All right, so let's talk today. A quick update on the Davido issue. About 8 months ago, we did this video. Let me share this with you. All right, we did this video. Let's see. All right, so it shouldn't be talking yet. Let's go back a little bit. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right, so I did this video that you're looking at on the screen right now. Okay, about 8 months ago, and we kind of slightly 8 months ago, shortly before he lost his son, and it's almost like we could see the future. But that's what it feels like. After a while, you start feeling like maybe you can see the future if you start paying attention to certain patterns of behavior. Somebody said, but these are celebrities. Let's listen. It's just magnified. Same behavior is just magnified when it comes to a celebrity, or you have access options, you have money, you have too many attention on social media. The same behavior at its core is magnified. Okay, we have a lot more in common than we like to admit. Okay, the truth is that as much as we want to say everybody is different, there's so much more in common, which is where you actually learn. Okay, you don't learn anything from how we're different. You learn the fact that we're different. That is a thing. That is a principle about all of us, right? That you learn that we're all different is a principle that you should learn, and that's consistent across the board, right? You don't use that against yourself and say there's nothing to learn from other people, right? Shout out to Adebusola. We had that discussion. She was pushing and said, why do you have to make the mistake first, right? The truth is that you don't, but some of us are coconut head. If we don't make the mistake first, then we won't start paying attention. Like, listen, there's a lot more in common with all of us, regardless of what race, what color, what tribe, than we like to admit. And oftentimes I hear us, it's true that we're all unique, but we use that as an excuse to not learn what we need to learn. Okay, so it's one of those talking points that we're in a space, we need to start pushing against that a little bit. Say, hey, what do you mean? There's nothing like we have some things in common. Tell me a little bit about your story. I know it's your story, but maybe I can relate to one or two things. Maybe. Yeah. So shout out to Brother Patrick and brother Ernest, right? Brother Ernest, for sharing the gems that they just finished sharing on Auntie B's platform. Good stuff, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Brother Patrick. Then we have Bamdele here. Shout out to you, Bamdele. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. All right, so I'm going to play this video. This was 8 months ago, before he lost his son. Then I have a short one too, right after he lost his son. And let's see if there's some kind of consistency. Then I have the 96 causes of divorce. Okay. I'm not sure we can finish it today. Okay. But it's going to be interesting. Let's just see. It's going to be interesting. Okay. Let me go into this video. Let me play a little bit of it, and then let's see what I was talking about 8 months ago. When that song came out, what was it, like 4 or 5 years ago now? Maybe not that long ago, right? I just knew Davido is too young. He doesn't know. Now, here's I didn't have a prediction per se, but it just didn't look like it would last. Especially that it did seem like he was in love. It was authentic. But I also know the mind and the heart of a young man. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know. Now, pardon the skipping somehow. That particular recording was a little bad. Okay. But just pay attention. Authentic. He's in love. He wants to showcase. He wants to do the right thing. But there's a difference between wanting to do the right thing and actually being capable of doing the right thing. And when I say capable, I say that very, very. I say that very, very. It's very lightly. So when I say capable, I'm talking about the actual reality, not what you would like it to be. We would all like to be able to say, I'm capable of being faithful, I'm capable of doing the right thing. We would all like to be able to say that or claim that. But for those of us that have been around long enough, we know that our capability is in emotional intelligence and nothing outside of that, right? Is in being able to understand that if you position yourself wrongly, you will do the wrong things. If you position yourself in a place where you start to feel funny or insecure, you will end up doing the wrong things. That's just how life works. And then you'll come back and you say, oh, I made a mistake. And then people will be like, what do you mean a mistake? It was premeditated, right? then you're gonna be in a position where you'll be like, wait, I tried to do the right thing. Or you know what happened? Yes, so Brother Patrick, 96.
No, I messed up because you knew that you were trying to do the right thing, but it just didn't work out. All the one that we're most familiar with, like
Had to be.
you knew that you couldn't do it, but you were just a liar. And everything in between.
Latu, wahala.
I think Davido falls on the spectrum of he knows the kind of lifestyle he's exposed to. But
No, I'm not
he's
doing
in love.
5 hours. This is gonna be
Being
less than
in
2
love
hours.
is not enough. It's just a feeling. That feeling goes up and down. You can't trust it. Not
Yeah,
even
Alpha.
yourself. Right? So, and when you're young, you might even try to love, actually true love, real love, try to do the right thing from a place of commitment. But also you're young, right? So you're not really, you don't really understand, you don't have full context of what life is. That's why you see a lot of young people will say things like, but what's wrong with, no, just do the right thing. They'll say that like, and it's like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, let's do the right thing.
Absolutely, you're right.
Well, you're right.
You're right.
Now we have to pay myself some bills. Jesus Christ. Let me go and skip the ad.
Well, you're right.
You're right.
Just do
You
the
just
right
don't know
thing.
what you don't know. Thank you. It's 2018. Thank you, Apan. Thank you. Good to see you, sir. Omar, I'm not sure. But he says Apan man. It's 2018. Yeah.
All right.
don't know what
So
you don't
that's
know,
the first one. That's the first one. That was 8 months ago. Okay. Again, after a while, you start seeing some patterns in behavior, people's behavior, and you might be able to predict some things here and there. But it takes a while because human beings, we have patterns. No matter how much we want to say we are different, everyone's story is different. You know, and to be, we were just on your platform. Here is some of the comments I grabbed really quickly. Let me see if I can grab it really quickly. That came. I'm not going to mention their name because honestly, I would like to have the conversation with this particular people that posted this. I don't want to just throw them under the bus. I'm open to conversation anytime because I think it's not about the words. It's not about the words. It's about because the words also is it's based off of our interpretation or what we think the meanings are. It's about reality in real life, right? Somebody said, let me see here. Let me see. I don't want to mention their name because again, I don't know if they're here. I don't want to mention their name if they're not in the room. Let me see. There are two comments in particular that I want to grab. It takes two. Your partner has to be. Let's see. Not that one. You sure right? Not this one. This one. The you best. Okay. All right. So the person first of all said, well, everyone's story is different. Then the person typed this follow-up comment right here. So the best bet is for one to study each other and come to a balance. Each and every one of us are very, very different. What works for you might not work for me. Particularly the part where you say what worked for you might not work for me. Right? This person is not wrong.
Well, you're right.
But then context. We had two gentlemen. They were one is 25 years married, another one is 25 years married. They were sharing insights. I think we know we're different, but if we listen closely to what they were saying, there were some commonalities. Maybe we should pay attention to the commonalities and not worry about how we're different in this context, right? That was one of them. Okay, the other comment, let me see here. This is actually my guy. I would like to have the conversation again, but I'm just taking the quote here and not the name. Okay. These are some of the talking points that we need to push back against a little bit. It's not that they're wrong. It's about, it really depends on application. How are you applying this? This one says, is it possible to know the other party's mind? Right? Marriage is all about two people and can't be determined by one party. Are you sure? If it can't be determined by other party, where does influence comes? Where does that come in? Where does influence come in? Right? However, it's good to learn and play your part. So he found the balance there, but I think we should focus now more than ever before on finding what is common to all of us and start learning them. Okay? Because after a while, you start having you'll be able to predict a Davido, like even years ahead. Like you can see certain patterns, you're like, this one will go here. Yeah, it needs, like Patricia said yesterday, ding, ding, ding. You need to hit rock bottom first. Go here. Until you hit rock bottom, you won't hear, because there's nothing to hear. You know it all, right? Humility is a big deal in all of this. Pride, that four-legged thing, right? Pride. Anyway, that's that right there. So it's very important. We need to start paying attention to all those different things we have in common. We need to pay attention to them more so than ever before, because that's how you're able to learn the skills. Okay, so the part where we're different, that's the easy part. We know we are different. That's easy. Everyone knows we're different. What are the things we have in common that you can let me learn that, let me take notes. Maybe it won't apply to me because we're different, right? But let me take some notes. Let's focus on those things, right? Here's another one. This was 6 months ago. Okay, this was 6 months ago. The actual I'm gonna grab this. December 14, it was published on this same platform. I'm gonna share right now, and let's play this with Davido. Right? Davido. This was after he lost. No more Baba Lowo. Yes, Tamika Harris. Yes. Right. What does this have to do with Davido? Davido sadly lost a child some few weeks ago. A very, very sad situation. I intentionally didn't cover it because, I don't know what to. That's some scary stuff for me, to be honest with you. The only thing I could do is like, damn, that I felt that, and considering that he's lost a few close people in recent times, one of the guys in this camp, about two of his guys in this camp, listen, this one, BC Taje, right? The pie thing, right? Just the imagination of it kills us as human beings, right? How much more you're experiencing it back to back to back. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Okay. Now, before all of that happened, when he actually released the song Assurance, right? It's authentic, in my opinion. Hey, that was authentic. Babe. They seem authentic. They're in love. Because it really is Davido. He doesn't have to do all that stuff. He doesn't have to get with one girl and be flunking out all over. It seems authentic. But let me tell you something about most people that end up in divorce court. They're all authentic. I know you didn't want to hear that. They're just all bad people. They didn't vet properly. You should have vetted properly. Anyway, let me skip the ad.
I'll be the judge of that.
I can't skip the ad. I can't. So let's wait a minute for that to finish. Yes, so Auntie B, imagine doing this 5 days a week. It's not easy at all. No, it is not. It is not. But God is our strength, Auntie B. Marriage is not a pizza. You have to enroll and learn. Emotion will be your mate. Oh, yes, yo, Brother Patrick. Exactly. Let me skip the ad now. I think it's ready to go. Where is it? There you go. Authentic. Not all. Majority of them. It's only minority that you can point at the type of stories we like to cover, that we like to watch, the toxic stuff, the DV stuff. That's minority still. The number one reason that you see everywhere, I think they call it a different name in the UK, is irreconcilable differences. What does that even mean, right? That means people fell out of love. They grew apart. What does that even mean? Exactly. Good people, right, just didn't know how to communicate anymore. They don't know how to do relationships, and they have resentments. They have a hard time forgiving each other. They can't get past it. All right, you already got the gist. The gist I wanted to extract from that, you got it already. The point there is that, listen, you could, some people, when people start behaving a certain way, you can tell. You can see some things when you have too much money, too much access, too much options, right? Then it's going to take a little bit more work. Pride is going to cost you a little bit more. Okay, it's easy to be humble when you're broke. And listen to what I just said. Okay. All right, let me pull this up really quickly. It's easier, okay, or it's easy. Let me just say it's easy to be humble when you're broke. It's easy once you hit rock bottom, if you feel it, not the one we see. And we said, this guy's at rock bottom. No. You need to feel it. It's easier to be humble in that space, okay? And, you know, sometimes, again, coconut head is, there's no scarcity of it, you know? So you can see these things. You can see them. You'll be like, you know. And if you see also even the Korede Bello seems like that innocent guy, right? Or Spyro, it's Jesus. This is all about Jesus. We don't shake booties over here, you know. Spyro, wait until he's been presented with opportunities. That's when the real test comes in, not when you're running your mouth. Okay, when you're in that space, when you're inside marriage, that's when we will know for real who you are. Right? That's why I asked the question to the gentleman earlier. At what point? Somebody said 5 years. Somebody said 10 years. And somebody's busy telling us vet. I said, I know we are supposed to vet, but you still need to be humble. You will not know what you need to know until you are inside marriage. Stop trying to protect yourself. You can't anyway. Okay? It's a failing strategy. Okay? Fear is a failing strategy. Faith is a better strategy. This is a journey of faith at all times. I don't care how much math you know and science and scientific fact. This is always going to be a journey of faith. Okay? This is always going to be a journey of faith. The same one you have to do when you go to sleep at night, you get knocked out. And then you don't know how you're going to wake up in the morning. Well, you're not going to wake yourself up. You can't. Well, when you wake up, you say, hey, we're here again. It's time to do it again, right? The same thing with marriage, right? It doesn't mean you don't plan your life out. It just means, my yara one brain when it comes to humility, when it comes to pride, it will destroy everything, even when the intentions are right, even when you know math and science, and, you know, even when you know psychology. Let me tell you something. Earlier today, I was listening to some conversation. And it was obvious it was a bunch of young people, right? But there were some old people there, you know. When I say old, I'm saying, you know, older, you know. And you could tell that she just went through some psychological classes. She's going to be a new person, a newly licensed therapy or something. You could just tell that this is all books. Right? She even said, hey, go take this narcissist test right now. Go and take this narcissist test. That's a narcissism, NPD test. Okay? The personality disorder, right? Go take this test right now. Let's talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. She was like, this one, no get experience. They were talking about why people get ghosted in the dating scene, right? They were talking about why people get ghosted. In that same conversation in real time, right? They were arguing very toxic level argument that you're like, wait, no, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. Okay, even in this conversation, can you practice? Right? Because you're being tested in real time. Can you practice? How do you talk at each other? Right? How do you, like, even when you have differences in opinion, do you talk from a place of respect? I bet you can't wait to make other people wrong. That tells me that you don't believe that you're right. And I tell you all the time, you're right.
Oh, you're right.
You're already right. If you have a need to prove to everybody that you're right, you don't get it. If all you have is textbook, listen, I've written books. You can see them all behind me, 4 of them. I encourage reading books, right? But, bruh, it doesn't stop there. You need to now learn how to apply. Okay, Yvette, hey Yvette, good to see you. Okay, you need to learn how to apply this. How are you going to learn how to apply if you don't get out there and have some experience, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're talking about. So Davido had patterns, you know. He can get help. It's going to be very hard. The humility, number 4, pride, ego aspect of things is going to be extremely hard. When you're on top of the world, you feel invincible, right? No one can tell you anything. It's not exactly absolutely deliberate. Okay, it's just the human mind, the way it works, right? You can't see what you can't see, right? So it's going to take the grace of God, including pastors. If you're a Fato Yibo, if you're a Adefarasin, if you're a Baba Deboye, it's going to take everything in you to practice humility. It's a very difficult thing. You're on top of the world. Everybody fall down in front of you. The human brain is not to be played with. So when I say humility, the higher you go in life, the more successful you become, the further you go inside of marriage. If you're 25, 26 years in marriage, 30 years in marriage, especially if you're a white person, your wife can still pull the plug. She's been nursing it for 20 years. She's just waiting patiently. What I've noticed is that black women, they want, after they learn 1 or 2 things about psychology, 2 years later, they start calling him a narcissist. Instead of like, what happened? It's in 2 years. He's a narcissist, right? I'm talking about majority. I'm not talking about the extreme situations. I'm not talking about the minority loudest situations, right? They're the loudest. They're not necessarily the majority. Okay? It's just 2 good people trying to do life together. But they don't know what they don't know. They just don't know. Right? When you don't know, you don't know. Especially when emotions are often getting caught up on 2 sides, 2-dimensional, multi-stories. Because when you go tell this person, you tell this person, to tell this person, everybody's advising you. It's just messy, right? So we need to the narratives need to start changing, because we've been repeating the same talking points to ourselves for about 5-10 years and nothing is changing. We need to start paying attention. Why is it that nothing is changing? Because after all, I know how to detect red flags from afar. How come I'm still attracting the same guy? You need to start paying attention, right? So anyway, let me play this video for you. Let's put some fun in this. Okay, let's put some fun here. Let's play this, Baba.
I hear some old guys talking, like some forefather guys talking lately, yeah. But I want to make something clear. I know we have some big legends in the game. Baba is a legend. Tom Jazzy, legend. And the band, yeah.
Anyway, let me stop playing. Let me stop. Let me play. Did you think that was Davido? No, that wasn't Davido. Okay, that was some weirdo. That was funny. Let me see here. All right, so let's get into the 96. So yeah, I saw your who said that earlier. That is a baby girl, Auntie Olun lawyer, running her mouth online right now. That it's a baby girl. The son that passed away was a baby girl, and they were just dressing him or her like a boy all along. I mean, like, come on, like that's not news, man. I don't know what to do with that information. All right. There's another chick here who says Davido is following. She went to Davido's page and Davido is following her. It says follows you, right? And then she goes, this one, Davido followed me back. Hope it's not what I'm thinking. It's like I'm already pregnant. Hey. Anyway, it's gonna take a minute before he gets over this. And of course, Nigerians are trolls. Back it up, you don't they collect for a few days now. They won't let go. Let me tell you something. Shalaye, I just released a video where Dr. Shala was doing Shalaye, and it has not worked. You know, go check. It will play right after this one. That video. It doesn't work. You know, this story of Banky W will stick. Unfortunately, to whom much is given, much is expected. Okay, it's just what it is. He better not try to do Shalaye because it will only get worse. Okay, for every story, every preaching he does around this, they will start covering it and they will basically say, I knew it. So the best thing for him is to focus on his life and not worry about the public unless it's that bad, like it's affecting his money or something. And even at that, Shalaye doesn't work. It needs to be a statement and keep it moving. All right, so that's that. But let's go into, okay, we're about 36 minutes in. Here's how we're going to play this game. Okay, this is going to be a game. It's just going to be my face. Okay, it's going to be my face. And then what I want to do is I want to come to what did Natu say? Let me see. What did I miss? I didn't see. Did Natu say something about? Oh, okay. Was it Natu that mentioned earlier? I'm trying to see. I can't see it. Oh, I'm trying to see what Auntie B is referencing. Please stop listening to Kemi. She's demented. Wahala. Yeah, I can't take Auntie Kemi seriously. I'm sorry. Lady B was on vacation for 3 weeks in Antigua. She is. Don't get me jealous now. Anyway, let's do this, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this. If you hear anything that makes sense to you and you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. If you say anything that you can relate with, super chats are open, all of that is open. We're going to cover all of this in details, all 96 of them. So be on the lookout for each one is a single video. Okay, so and each one is a single video. I might drop one or two of them. Oh, you were on vacation? Yes, you did mention that, Yvette. I hear you. Welcome back. Right? There's each one of this is 96 videos, but I'm going to tell you them right now. As I'm telling them, type them into the chat. I'm not going to show them on the screen, but type them into the chat. If you have, if you can relate, you have additional context you want to add onto it, use the chat. But I'm just going to call them out. Okay, there are 96. Okay, it's a study that I did. Okay. Yeah, it's a study that I did. It's been a long time coming. It's been about 16 months. Okay, but this, if you can relate, these are basically this is where it starts. Everyone wants to talk about the causes of divorce. Let me just play this really quickly, and then we'll come back just to mark a point in the video. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. All right, so 96 causes of divorce that most never detect. So again, each one of these is going to be a video and we'll address it in detail. So today is not about addressing details. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can, because I'm going to be calling them out. Type them as fast as you can in the chat as I'm calling them out. And then, but you know, again, I've been telling you for a long time, people say irreconcilable differences. Cause of divorce, I'm like, I don't know what that is. People say finances. I'm like, what do you mean finances? There's so many ways that finances can, you know, there's so many stories around finances. Some people are manipulative, financial abuse. Some people hog their money. Some women take money without telling their husband and build houses in Abuja. Some husbands are starting businesses and using their wife's money to carry women around Cameroon. Like, what do you mean by finances? Like that doesn't help anybody. Like, but when you say finances cause of divorce, that's what's recorded at the courthouse. Those are not the deeply rooted reasons. Okay, so even the ones I'm going to call out today are not necessarily the deeply rooted reasons, but this is the complaint that people start to complain about. This is what it start to feel like. This will tell you what people feel like, both wives and husbands. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and again, as I come, to be you. You just want me to dance, eh? Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, now we have to dance, okay? Before I start. All right, thank you so much for that, and to be so. I'm pumped. Okay, let's go. All right, so number one. Okay, are you ready? Number one. My wife yells at me. Okay, my wife yells at me. This is an extremely common problem. Just in case. But we're gonna talk about that. I don't want you to worry about you being the wife who is yelling. If you're the one complaining that your wife yells at you, I do have a video coming up for you. Okay, you're the one that I have words with. Okay, you're the one that needs solution. Okay, you're the one that has the power that you don't know yet. Okay, so we will get to it. Number one, my wife yells at me. Okay, when a man starts to feel that way, this is the beginning of the end, obviously. Okay. Number two, start typing them. If you can type them, anything you can relate, let me know. Number two, my husband yells at me. Duh, right? All right. Number four, again, these are all feelings. Majority of the problems of marriages starts with feelings. Okay? Feelings. Okay? Yes, somebody is doing something wrong somewhere, right? They're doing something wrong somewhere, right? But it really is not really a big deal until somebody starts to feel a certain type of way. Because when something that you say your husband is doing, another wife is saying, that's not a big deal. So it's not really a big deal until, So number three now. Number three, my husband hates me. Okay, it's a feeling. Number four, my husband doesn't love me anymore. How we moving? We're moving fast enough, right? My husband doesn't love me anymore. It's a feeling. They're moving some type of way, but it's making you feel like your husband doesn't love you anymore. Number five, I'm going in order of how popular these problems are. Okay? I'm going in order of how popular these problems are. Okay? 16 months worth of study. Okay, so I will start dropping those videos next week. So if you want a solution to them, you want some insights to them, you want to start paying attention to those videos as they're dropping. Okay. Number five, my wife never initiates intimacy. Okay. Kirewa. Okay, and to be put a quote out there earlier. She said, as long as the bed is shaking, you still have hope. I agree 100%. Okay, now when a man starts to feel like my wife never initiates intimacy, that is a big deal. Okay, all right, now your opinions, if you have opinions about them right now, please feel free to share. Number six, my husband is always angry. Number seven, my wife doesn't love me anymore. It's a feeling, okay? But these are feelings big enough to destroy your marriage. They start long before somebody initiates divorce, okay? Long before they were filling out the paperwork at the court and they say finances, irreconcilable differences, infidelity. That's what people fill out on paper, okay? But this is where it comes from. It starts like this. Number 8, my husband is depressed. Okay, that's a big deal. All right. Now this person is already thinking ahead of, because depressed is like, what do you mean? It makes me want to say, what do you mean, right? So that's not what are you feeling that's making you feel like your husband is depressed? Tell me a little bit more of the story. Again, we'll get to it when we get to it. Number 9, my wife is never in the mood anymore. Okay, it's kind of similar to never initiates. It's different. My wife is never in the mood anymore. This is a man who is feeling rejected. All right. Okay, the other one doesn't feel wanted. This one is feeling, he's actually trying, but it's not working. Number 10, my husband is a lazy parent. Parenting will cause division in a marriage. Number 11, my husband doesn't respect me. No, only men deserve respect. Only men want respect. That's not true. Women are asking for respect, usually after they've gone through something. So the questions are, what makes you say she doesn't? What do you what happened? What makes you think your husband doesn't respect you? When a man said my wife doesn't respect me, same thing too, right? But there's a natural craving for most men. Okay. Number 12, my husband is selfish. Number 14, my wife is always angry and unhappy. Okay. Remember, I'm going in order of popularity, so we're going down now as they get less and less popular. Okay. Number 15, my husband is not attracted to me. Okay. Well, babe, do you think you should drop a little weight? Why do you say that? Well, no big deal, baby. You look good. It's been 2 weeks now. No kerewa. And now she's reflecting back on what the husband said 2 months ago. Is it because I'm a little bit on the... but it's the feelings. These are feelings, rather. That's number 15. My husband is not attracted to me. All right, let's take a quick pause. Yvette, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's dance a little bit.
Everything I do, I will. Pressure to what?
Pressure to what? The pressure is on. Let's go to number 16. Number 16, my wife doesn't respect me. This is a big deal. Okay, this is the beginning of the end. Number 16, my husband doesn't listen to me. This is a real big deal, because what do we know? 75 to 80% of the divorces are initiated by women in the United States. I don't know about everywhere else. Okay. So, but that problem usually starts with my husband doesn't listen to me. Okay. And it gets worse. Okay. Some people will never listen until the whole family is destroyed. Okay. Listen doesn't mean I can hear, like physically, but we'll talk about that when we get to that video. So be on the lookout for that video. Number 17, my husband is always on his phone and ignores me. Okay. There's a lot of issues around this one right here. Always on the phone and ignores me. I think we're doing well. I think we'll be able to get through all of them. I'm just telling you the causes of divorce, okay, right now. 96. Somebody says 3. You're like 3, okay. Top 3, top 10. You're right. And everybody wants to relate with the top 3. You're right. It's the gross generalizations everywhere. Even these ones are generalized. Even this one, 96 of them are generalized. How much more? That's that top 10 that everybody is talking about. He's just a narcissist. That's not the cause of your marriage falling apart. Okay, there's more to it. You just need to draw boundaries. Okay, we know that. What else? And we're digging a little bit deeper. What does that mean? Give me an example. right? What does that look like when it comes to feelings and emotions? Okay. Number 18, my husband always jokingly insults me. Number 20, my wife is depressed. Okay, not as popular as my husband is depressed, but my wife is depressed is another one. Okay, why did we all separate them? Because women's experience is different from men's experience. They're all different. Okay. Number 21, my husband is always touching me. You're like, why is this causing, why is that causing a divorce? Is that what you said? Why is that causing a divorce? Clearly, there's a problem with attraction, maybe sexual compatibility, right? Maybe we need to unpack it. We don't know. We'll find out when we get to it, right? All right, so that's number 20. Okay, now number 21. My husband never compliments me. Ouch. Yeah. Gentlemen, the men are like, compliments me. You don't compliment me. I know you are competing, but we'll talk about it when we talk about it, okay? Number 21, my husband never compliments me. That is a big deal. Okay, there are obviously deeper issues going on, but we will what's the word? We will unpack it when we get to it. Number 22, my husband doesn't care about me. Feelings, right? You might be like, but I care, but I did this. I go out there, walk all day long, and you talking about I don't care about you. Okay, well, these are the issues. Feelings. Number 23, my husband doesn't talk to me. Number 24, my wife is lazy. These are the 50-50 gang. Number 25, my husband never wants to do anything with me, right? Quality time. He just wants to hang out with his boys all day long, right? You see a lot of young couples go through this. Number 26, my husband is not affectionate. Okay, you know, any lori ko ni feel like any feel like lori. Somebody is saying my husband is always touching me. This one says my husband is not affectionate. No be juju be that. Anyway, 27. My husband is an addict and I want a divorce. Right? So addiction, the obvious one is alcoholic. The obvious one is maybe he smokes and you want him to drop it. But addiction, addiction is the enemy to a lot of marriages. It comes in all types of forms. A lot of times intangible. You can't see it, but you can feel it, and you just know it's bad habits, right? So think of bad habits, addiction. Just think about that for a second. They're not the same thing, but just think in that same line. Number 28. My husband doesn't appreciate me. Yeah, kind of similar to never compliment me, but not really. It's different. Okay. Number 30. Remember, we're going in order of popularity now, right? Okay. Number 30. My wife got fat. What? Man of prestige. Shaming language. That's what they said. Okay. That's what they said. My wife got fat. That's what some men are saying. Okay. You might want to trace that back to attraction. You might want to trace that back to communication issues. Maybe he just doesn't know how to talk. It's a lot of issues going on there. Okay. Let's keep going. No, that wasn't number 30. That was 29. Sorry. Number 30 now. My wife is never happy no matter what I do. This is a big issue, ladies. But it's not about you. We're going to help him when that video drops, okay? We're going to help him get you to do what he wants, okay? In a way that's beneficial to everybody for the relationship. My wife is never happy no matter what I do. That's number 30. Number 31. My husband is always negative and angry, okay? All right. Negative, particular, right? Feelings. Number 32, my wife is not sexually attracted to me. This is a big deal. Men are just come, they just want to sleep with everything. This is a man crying out that he wants you. And trust me, if it's just a rejection and he's going to sleep with side chick tomorrow, the least he's worried about is your little rejection, okay? He will figure that part out. But if he's saying, not sexually attracted to me, yeah, something you should pay attention to. There's more to that story, Sha. We'll talk about it. Number 33, my wife is always right. This one is being sarcastic, condescending, all of the above. But there's a lot there that he's trying to say. Yep. Bami Daily Tower says, these women do not know what they want, which is turn off for as a man. We're going there. We're getting there. Shout out to all 40 of you watching me live. I appreciate you for being here. All right. So again, let me do a quick reset. We're going through, I'm just telling you what the problem, the causes are. We're going to release one video each. For each one, just be on the lookout for those videos. Make sure you're subscribed, okay? So that when that video comes, you can get it. But we're going in order of popularity. The number of people complaining about this, okay? Off of the studies. All right. So let's get back to it. So this guy is saying, number 33, my wife is always right. All right. He's trying to say she thinks she's always right, or she's okay. Number 35, my wife left me for 3 months. It's a separation. Once you separate, there is a 87% chance that marriage will never work again. Okay, that means there's 13% chance you might still make it work. Okay, keep that at the back of your mind. Number 35, my husband never loved me. She didn't say it's no longer in love with me. She said never loved me. There's a lot to unpack there, right? Number 36, my husband is always sick. Yes, sickness in the family can be the beginning of, so there's some, this is a big deal. And this is something that's, I'm actually going to make sure I do my homework properly before I release this video, okay? It's a big deal. Number 37, my wife doesn't want me. Okay. Number 38, my wife is never happy. All right, disgruntled, grumpy, walking out, always yelling at the kids. Yeah. Okay. Number 39, husband never initiates affection. Okay. Husband, what is all that? But it will come at night because he needs to knock one off, right? But never initiate affection. Yeah, so that's a big deal too. You might find marriages that it took them 7 years before they actually get to the divorce. After this starts happening, right? Or after they start feeling this way. It's feelings, okay? We need to keep that in mind that these are all feelings, okay? It doesn't mean there are no tangible events, but those tangible events they're not the big deal because there's a wife, there's a husband somewhere that it's not a big deal for them. But for you, it's a big deal. It starts to make you feel some type of way, the feelings. So we need to address it. It's very important to address this as feelings and emotions rather than, did you not see your mate? Once you start comparing people, you accelerate towards divorce. Okay? Very important. Number 41, my wife doesn't listen to me. See, it's different from my husband doesn't listen. It's two different things. My wife doesn't listen to me. It's different from my husband doesn't listen. Those are two different things. If you don't know what I mean, just wait for that video, okay? The difference between the two is very important if you want to solve this issue, okay? Number 43, my husband always complains about his health, okay? This is also a big deal, okay? My husband is always in a bad mood. Right. Number 44 now. We're on 44 now. My wife doesn't want to work. Sounds similar to lazy. 50-50 gang. Maybe not necessarily. Okay. It just depends on what we're talking about. But the person that has the husband has this problem, okay, because of the feelings. You have to own the feelings. All right, let's keep going. Number 45. My husband always says hi, not hi, I instead of we. Okay, my husband always says I instead of we. This is a big deal. Feelings. What do you mean? So it's all we, but it's my money. Okay, we'll talk about it when we get there. Number 46. My husband never listens to me. Similar to what we said earlier. Remember, it's different from my husband doesn't listen. Okay, all right. Number 47. My wife doesn't like my family. Ladies, this is a humongous, especially among us Nigerian or anybody, any society with high perceived family values. Perceive is very important. High perceived family values. This is a big deal. My wife doesn't like my family. This is how they act in their family. This is how, the sister, the uncle always, uncle Elojo, Iwayi. That part, yeah. Yep. You might not realize that it's a big deal because you're not on the receiving end, but we're going to help the husband change this. If he can complain about it, he has power to change it. These are real issues, nonetheless. Number 48. My husband is fat. I'm telling you, see, they don't say it like that, but when they fill out the surveys, right, this is what they would like to yell like this. This is how it feels. Feelings, right? They're crying out for help, but yeah, but from a woman's standpoint, it's a little bit different from my wife got fat. My wife got fat is like she wasn't always fat, but she got fat. My husband is fat. It's like, was he always that? That makes us want to ask, like, was he always fat? Oh no, he wasn't fat. So what happened? Oh, he's depressed. It's like, nah, we need to unpack. There you go. Number 49. My wife is always on her phone. Number 50. My husband is never happy. Number 51. My husband never touches me. Why is this different from any other touch? She said never. Never is the key word here. Okay, let's continue anyway. Number 52. My husband always criticizes me. Number 53. My husband always put me down. Number 54. My husband is engaged to another woman. What? This marriage doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Number 55. Husband makes no effort. That's vague too, right? But we'll talk about it and talk about what happened in most cases when a woman is complaining that husband makes no effort and how she can actually help herself. Okay? If you can complain, there's a chance you can help yourself. There's a chance you can't help yourself. Okay? I'm talking to those that can help themselves. If you think you can't help yourself, you are probably right. And if you're right, you have to do the work. So I can't help.
Well, you're right.
Number 56. My wife doesn't care about me. Right? Not as popular as my husband doesn't care about me. Okay? But it's one of the problems. Okay? Number 57. My husband always has to be right. My husband always has to.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. I tell you, anti-seductive behavior Chinya says it sounds like her love language is physical, affectionate touch, not just kerewa. Good point. Good point. Because some men don't know the difference, right? And the husband is not doing it. Like, what is that? I beg, we don't get time for that. But he wants to do something at night. Thank you for that, Chinye. Shout out to you. Number 57 now. My husband never stops talking. Somebody said, oh, but it's women, they always talk. I'm like, no. There are husbands that don't know how to stop talking. They don't know when to stop talking, as you say. More like some of them don't know how to stop talking. That's like almost everybody that don't know when to stop talking. There are two different things. Okay, we'll talk about that too soon. Okay. Now this is a lot of weight on the woman. If I'm trying to help the woman who is complaining, it's a lot of weight. It's almost not sustainable, but I never want to say never, right? Okay, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Number 59. Okay, my husband is not my best friend. Shout out to Adebusola. She said, why do we have to be best friends? Well, this is a few women complaining that my husband is not my best friend. It's a feeling. You might even hang out more, but if you can manage to make her feel like you're the best friend, voila. Anyway, number 60 now. This is number 60. My husband is not emotionally supportive. All right, this kind we'll probably highlight some examples, All right, let's see. Number 61, my wife is not romantic at all. Yes, believe it or not, I told you, most of the guys engaged in this type of conversations are lover boys. Most are lover boys. Even sometimes they sound like, I'm a traditional man, irony. They are lover boys. They are whining and complaining. There's a reason why they are complaining. All right. If they are not lover boys, they usually will not have time for this type of conversations. Okay. All right. Number 62. My wife is not sexually satisfied. At least he wants to know. At least he wants to know something, right? Number 63. My wife got pregnant by someone else.
Hey! Ayé mi tèmi bá mi.
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll talk about it when we get there. That's a big deal. That would take anybody out. Okay? Number 64. My husband is not interested in me. All right. Number 65. My husband never stands up for me. This is actually a very popular problem, but it's said in so many other different ways. Okay. Number 67. My wife never listens to me. Never. Keyword. Okay. Number 68. My husband always seems annoyed with me. All right. Similar to angry, always in a bad mood, right? Number 69. My wife is never wrong. Similar to my wife is always right. Number 70. My wife got a secret new husband. We need to unpack that. Soul ties, soulmate from primary school. Spiritual husbands. Wahala. Anyway, number 70. Husband not satisfied sexually. All right. Number 72. My wife is never home. Sounds like he doesn't know where she's at all. Anyway, number 72. My husband is never satisfied sexually. Keyword, never. Okay, there's a difference between the other version and never. There's a significant difference, and we need to unpack that. Okay, we need to pick that word. Okay. All right, number 73. My wife always puts me down. That's a big deal. Okay. Well, it's insecure. Why does he need a man? Should be able to validate himself. Like, that one is story. It feels good when your wife roots for you. It feels good when your wife speak words of life to you. It feels good when your wife says, "Olowo your cup, Olowo ori mi," abi whatever. It feels good, right? That one is story. But my wife always puts me down. That's his problem. He needs to lead. Yeah, no. Wait, so the victim becomes the... No, that's not what we said. Jesus Christ. We'll talk about the solution. All right. Number 74. My husband got his mistress pregnant. Pregnant? Women are like, well, there's somebody else earlier who said their wife was impregnated by somebody else too, right? They're not the same thing, no. Don't delude yourself or don't deceive yourself. This is another type of feeling. And if you're a man, you wouldn't know that because you're a man, okay? But to insinuate that it doesn't hurt women is just ignorant at best. Number 75. My husband always accuses me of cheating. There's a lot of men doing that. Subconsciously, indirectly, directly. Let me smell your... Yeah, anyway, I'll leave that at that. Number 76. My wife is never satisfied. Not just sexually now. We're talking about never. Like satisfied, period. Right? It's always something. It's always something. Right? She thinks she's just being assertive. There's nothing wrong with an assertive woman. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we get there. Number 77. My husband is never happy with me. Similar to some things we've seen before, but she's personalizing it heavily. Number 78. My wife always complains about me. Not complaining, not always complain, not just yelling at the kids, complains about me. Number 79. My wife always brings up the past. This is a very, very common problem. I'm actually surprised that not too many people in the survey mentioned it, but this is very, very common. I guess it comes up in between as nuances and stuff like that. Hurt women will bring up the past forever. For as long as you don't know what to do about that, they will continue to bring it up. Okay? For the rest of your life. Until everybody bye. Okay? Even after she said, I forgive you. Okay? Now, how do you get through that? Now we can talk. We can talk now, okay? But when we get to that video. Okay. Number 80. I'm doing well, right? Am I doing well? Let me go ahead and let's see. Yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Number 80, right? 80 Lawa. My wife always plays the victim. Remember, when somebody says my wife, that's a husband saying my wife always plays the victim. All right. Number 81. My husband is never on my side. All right. Sounds similar to something I heard earlier. Number 83. My husband is never affectionate with me. Never. As in like, never? As in never? Never. Number 83. My husband is never wrong and never apologizes. Never twice. Okay? People that have a hard time being grateful, they tend to use the word never a lot. Okay? Just so you know. People that have a hard time being grateful, people that are heavily disconnected from gratitude, they often use never a lot. But we'll talk about that when we get there. This one is never raised to power 2. My husband is never wrong and never apologizes. 83. 85. No, 84, sorry. 84. My wife always criticizes me. We saw something similar. It looks like it was the husband earlier. Number 85. My wife always wants to argue. I'll just tell you right now, there's no such thing, but I'll tell you what I mean when we get to that video. Right. Number 86. And by the way, I know what you mean by when you say always want to argue, okay? But never is just polar opposite of always. Keyword always, okay? Never is polar opposite of always. All right, good. All right. Number 86 now. My wife never wants to do anything with me. Or do something with him. All right. Number 87. My wife is never happy with me. All right. Sounds similar to something I just heard. No, it was the husband. Just wanted to make sure. Number 88. We're getting close. I told you, Auntie B. I told you. I got this. Today is not 8 hours, I promise. Okay? Yeah, today is not 8 hours. It's going to be 8 hours over time, much more. Probably more like 2,000 hours. Okay? But you need all of it. Okay? You need all of it. Number 88. My husband is never around. It's never around. Never is keyword. But even though I said never is a keyword, please, we don't get to discount the actual issue, which is she thinks he's never around. Okay, we don't get to discount that, but we need to address both. All right. Yay. D-Love, how now? She says, late to the party. Hello, everyone. Yes, you are late. You have to watch the replay. 96 causes of divorce that most never detect. We're at number 88. Now, let's get to number 89. My wife never initiates affection. Right? But you're a man. You are supposed to be the pursuer. You pursue, yeah. Well, so today is an opportunity for you to see what is going through the mind of your wife, possibly, or your husband, possibly. But when I start to do this video, I will address the accused very small, but I will address the person who is complaining the most, because I believe they have a significant amount of power. They just don't know how to tap into it. Okay, so I'm going to be spending most of the time on them to help them, because they're the one complaining. Okay, I saw somebody said earlier, like, well, you can't get some of these husbands, these traditional husbands, to therapy. Stop trying to get them to therapy. Shout out to Natu. She actually answered that. Stop trying to get your spouse to therapy after you ask once or twice. If they are not budging after the second time, clearly they don't think it's that deep. You should go by yourself. Okay? Just go and do it will help you. It will help you first with how you're going to attract them in a more productive way, but it will help you beyond that, even self. It will help you with yourself. There's a good chance that there's something about you that you don't know yet. Oftentimes when you go together for the first time ever, you go to therapy, you go together, you will end up just arguing. You will waste $400 and it will be the end of the session. Okay? And you got nothing out of it. Sometimes you're like, oh, we hear each other, we forgive each other, right? But after 2 weeks, everything will come right back to the surface. So it might be an opportunity that they don't want to go. Go by yourself. Okay? Engage wise counsel by yourself. It's good for you. It's in your best interest to do that. Anyway, I digress. Number 90. We're at 90. Isabel Shukura, where have you been? She's at number 63. She's catching up. Okay. That's number 90. My wife never admits she's wrong. Similar to is never wrong. Similar is always right. But we need to pick the words. I need to separate them. Okay. Because they're actually still different. Okay. Just think about the neurons, the different signals that go through our brain that makes up the very complex situation that we're trying to address, right? Yeah. So let's separate them. This one says, my wife never admits she's wrong. Right? This already tells me that he's arguing. It's a toxic argument going on from time to time. Like it's a debate. It's a conflict between debates. It's a debate, but it's not an argument. It's healthy for wife and husband to argue. There's nothing wrong with a little argument. Yeah. Oftentimes, this is just an 8 years journey towards divorce. Okay? Number 92. 91, sorry. My wife never initiate with me. Okay. Number 92. My wife always talks down to me. Puts me down, right? You heard that earlier, right? Talks down to me. Right? You're just trying to get him to do the right thing, right? You don't really see it. So he's saying always talks down to me. At this point he's confused. At least he's saying something. Many men would not say anything. They will talk that feeling in, suppress it. You know. Yeah, it's a big deal. All right, before we go to number 93, let me see. Number Isabel. Let me see what number 63 is. Let me see what she's talking about. Number 63 is yeah, my wife got pregnant by someone else. I know. No wonder. My husband said we don't need therapy. Guess who has 2 therapists now? Love of my life by himself. Exactly. There's a way to go about it. Shout out to you, Natu. There's a way to go about it. Let's get back to it. 96 causes of divorce that most never detect. Okay. You know, that number 63, somebody's going to be like, there's nothing to solve. There's no blah, blah, blah. Maybe. Okay. The answer is maybe. Okay. For the most part, probably you're right. Okay. Probably you're right. But we don't know what we don't know. We need to unpack that. All right. So let's see. Number 93 now. My wife is not the same person. This is actually very common, but it's usually said in different ways. It shows up in different ways as well. Okay, I just dropped the link because I'm running to the end. If I end it, we just end the show because I think you guys are pumped right now to go through the next 96 videos. All right, so I don't want to overwhelm you, but I dropped the link just in case somebody has something to say. Number 94. 94. My wife avoids physical contact. Like, huh? Yeah, that's a big deal. Okay. Let's see. Number 96. Number 95. My wife is never affectionate. Okay, 95. My wife is never affectionate. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave number 96 up for mystery. We're going to leave that up for surprise when we get there. Okay. Number 95 is my wife is never affectionate. Let's just leave that at that. Okay. But Patrick has added one bonus. He said my husband never holds my hand while walking. Yes. PDA, affectionate, never initiates affection, quality time, physical touch, as Chinye pointed out earlier. Yes, you know. That's a good. As a matter of fact, I'm actually gonna grab this one and make it number 97. But Patrick, how about that? All right. So I left the link up there while I update my list really quickly here. Let's see here. Never odes, but I have to put a note because that's not part of the survey. Let's say never holds my hands in public. Interesting to see what response we get from coming up with a solution for that. All right, good. Anyway, that was that. What do y'all think? Any point of contention? That was a lot, right? It's a lot. These are the issues that people are going through. Okay. No one goes through finance. We have finance. It's just part of life. Finance is part of life. Finance takes management. It's just like saying expectations. It takes management, but we need to dig a little bit deeper. Okay. In my opinion, I think majority, all of this, we can group this under quite a few, all those different things we just covered, we can group them under a few things, a few issues, It sounds like both husbands and wives are mentioned quite often, right? So it's never one side. It's not just men are scum or modern women are for the streets. That's not the issue. You need to tell us the rest of the story. We need to get down there and uncover the rest of the stories, right? All right. But what it sounds like to me is that there's still a lot of people are willing, they have a desire to address these issues. Yes, even within marriage and committed relationships, right? So that's good news. And that's why I'm happy, okay, that we have work to do. Okay, over the next 95 plus videos, we have work to do. Okay, some of the recurring themes, you see things around lack of intimacy, you see things around, loss of love, like people fall out of love, right? You see things around people not being happy, right? Or people complaining that their partner seems not happy, right? That means they're trying to at least walk through some of these issues before it becomes, but oftentimes a lot of people, they don't really take the time, right, to go through this stuff. Lack of respect on both sides, then there's a lot of people with infidelity suspicions. Okay, they're insecure around the faithfulness of their partner, right? Also, did you notice that phone found a way into that list? Social media found its way into that list, right? Then some people talked about laziness, right? The 50-50 conversation is huge. So we need to not just dismiss it, we need to talk about it, right? Then we talk about anger, depression, right? Weight gain is a big deal. It's a big deal. A lot of people don't talk about it because they don't want to offend their partner, they don't want to shame their partner, or somebody being completely unrealistic about what they fell in love with in the first place, right? So there's a lot there that we can talk about as well. There's issues like that were spelled out in the form of emotions, but it comes down to lack of trust, right? It comes down to lack of trust, dissatisfaction, with even with people's in-laws and families, right? How do you express that without throwing your relationship under the bus, right? And obviously, in my opinion, a major part of everything we've discussed today, a major part of it is sexual attraction. Okay? So we're going to be talking a lot about these things. We're going to be unpacking them. I'll be releasing them as 1 or 2 videos per week, so it's going to be a minute, right? So be on the lookout for it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn up your notifications, okay? Turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any one of them. All right, so that we're gonna end it right there today. That was awesome. But again, the first video, just so you know, the first video you want to look out for, I want to tell you, the first one is going to be my wife yells at me. Okay, that's gonna be the first video. So when you do see it, eat it up. Indomie. Okay, they're gonna be short videos. Okay, they're gonna be like between 5 and 10 minutes. Okay. So they're gonna be short videos each. It's not live session. We'll continue our live shows as usual. The trendy topics, those are the gifts that keeps giving. Okay, so we'll continue them as usual. Okay, but this ones will be videos, so you want to make sure your notifications are on. You might want to go back and watch 3 premiered videos as well, because if you tend to only come here for live, you might not see notifications with videos or shorts. So just keep that at the back of your mind with the way the algorithms work. Okay. So on your way out, do me a favor, hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. If you haven't signed up yet for the 30 days boot camp, it's free for now. Go sign up at loveandprestige.com and download the book as well, okay? But again, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.